In a time long before the rise of great empires, on the banks of a Tiber River that would shape the fate of the world, a city was born. A city destined for greatness. According to ancient legend, it was founded in 753 BCE by two twins, Romulus and Remus. Abandoned by their mother, the twins were left to die, but fate had other plans. Nursed by a she-wolf, they grew strong and courageous, destined to become the founders of Rome. As they grew, Romulus and Remus sought to build a city, but a bitter dispute arose. In a tragic moment of rage, Romulus killed his brother Remus, becoming the first ruler of the new city. The city was named Rome after him. Rome was initially ruled by kings, with power passed down through the generations. But the last king, Lucius Tarquinius, ruled with such cruelty that his reign would bring about the end of monarchy in Rome. Tarquinius' tyranny reached its peak with the assault on a noblewoman, Lucretia, by his son. Her tragic death sparked outrage among the people. The story of Lucretia's fate inspired an uprising. In 509 BCE, the Romans overthrew their king, abolishing the monarchy and establishing a republic, a new form of government that would shape the future of Rome. Rome's new republic was founded on ideals of balance and power. However, not all was harmonious. The patricians, the elite of Roman society, held most of the power, while the plebeians, the common people, struggled for their voice. The plebeians fought for equality, eventually winning the right to elect tribunes, officials who could protect their interests and veto decisions made by the Senate. This struggle, known as the struggle of the orders, would forever change the balance of power in Rome, leading to reforms that would shape its future. As Rome's power grew, so did its enemies. In 264 BCE, Rome came into conflict with the mighty Carthaginian Empire. This was the beginning of the Punic Wars, a series of 3 wars that would determine Rome's dominance in the Mediterranean. The most famous of these wars was the Second Punic War, when the Carthaginian general Hannibal crossed the Alps with his war elephants, bringing Rome to the brink of destruction. Though Rome suffered devastating defeats, it never surrendered. The Romans rebuilt their army, adapting new tactics. And eventually they crushed Hannibal, bringing Carthage to its knees. By the 1st century BCE, the Roman Republic was in turmoil. Julius Caesar, a military genius, rose to power, gaining control of the Roman legions and the loyalty of the people. In 49 BCE, Caesar famously crossed the Rubicon River, declaring, "The die is cast." His civil war against the Senate's forces resulted in his victory. And in 44 BCE, he was declared dictator for life. But his concentration of power alarmed many. In a plot to restore the Republic, a group of senators, including his own friend Brutus, assassinated Caesar in the Senate. After Caesar's death, Rome plunged into further chaos. But out of the ashes rose Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. Through cunning diplomacy and military prowess, he defeated his rivals, including Mark Antony and Cleopatra of Egypt. In 27 BCE, Octavian became Augustus, Rome's first emperor. He cleverly maintained the facade of the Republic while consolidating imperial power. Augustus ushered in a golden age known as the Pax Romana, where Rome enjoyed peace and prosperity for over 2 centuries. For centuries, Rome flourished. But by the 5th century CE, cracks began to appear. Invasions from barbarian tribes, economic collapse, and internal strife weakened the empire. In 410 CE, the city of Rome was sacked by the Visigoths. And in 476 CE, the last emperor of the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. The Western Roman Empire had fallen. But the story of Rome was far from over. While the Western Empire crumbled, the Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, carried on, its capital, Constantinople, becoming a beacon of Roman culture for another 1,000 years. And though the Western Empire fell, Rome's legacy lived on in the Byzantines, in its laws, its language, and its culture. Rome's influence endures to this day, in our laws, our language, and in the very foundations of our civilization. The story of Rome is not just the story of a city, but of the world itself. Rome's rise and fall may have been inevitable, but its story is eternal. The legacy of the Roman Empire will continue to shape our world for generations to come.